For those of you who don't know me, I spent 13 years in the event video space, doing weddings, quinceañeras, bar mitzvahs, what have you. And there have been a lot of stories that have come out of that. One of my favorites was shooting a wedding at Ruby Hills in Pleasanton, California, a beautiful event space. And it was a Persian wedding, and a ton of people were there, and they were all crowded around the couple during the ceremony as per tradition. I had 10 cameras going during that event, and even I felt that this is getting a little excessive. I had 3 camera operators, an assistant, and 10 cameras going. But there were many times during the event where so many people were moving that all the cameras were getting blocked but one. Maybe this one, maybe that one, maybe the one back here. So it was my record for the most cameras used at a single time, but they all were essential. Things like that are the kind of creativity that you need to be a good event videographer. And for those of you out there who are looking for an event videographer, someone to cover any sort of event, I have put together a list of certain things to look for, certain questions to ask, to make sure that you are finding the right event videographer for you. So thank you for watching. I'm Michael Bruner of Brogan Video. One of the most important things to do when talking to an event videographer is to get samples of their work. Some people are very upfront about it and want to share samples right away. Others may not have samples to share, and that's definitely a red flag. But always ask for multiple samples. Don't just ask for their highlight reel, because if you take the best 5 seconds out of a dozen or so weddings, you'll get a great highlight reel, but what about the rest of those events? So you want to see whole videos, and you definitely want to see a couple. If they just do highlight reels or if they do full wedding videos, ask to see them. There's always some privacy. Not everyone wants to have their weddings shared, but there should be a way that they would allow you just to see what other weddings that they've worked on look like. And then you can start to see, wait a minute, how do you cover the ceremony? How do you cover this part in the temple? It's all very important, and their samples should give you a very good indication as to their strengths and weaknesses. One of the best benefits that I had when I was working in the event space was the fact that I'm a solopreneur. So every time I sold my services, I would tell people, I'm going to be there as the lead videographer. I'm going to have a couple of other people that I can introduce to you ahead of time if you want. But no one ever needed that. They were just happy knowing that the person they were talking to, the person who was making them promises and getting the sale, was going to be the person there on the day who would be accountable. Always ask who's going to be there on the day, because so many videography companies will do great sales pitches, and they may have a representative there, but will often just subcontract the video and photo to local people that they trust, or maybe are just cheap, and just tell them what to do. Those people may not understand the etiquette. They may not understand the promises that were made. They may not understand the nuances that you talked about. So always ask who is going to be there and how the information that you share gets disseminated amongst them. One of the big questions that I would always ask couples are, what ceremonies do you have planned? You're going to a temple and you're going to do a ceremony. What is that ceremony? Is it just a minister speaking for a while? Are there going to be readings? Are there going to be interactions? Everything as detailed as possible. And that's on you as well. When you're the one running the ceremony or you're part of it, you need to tell the videographer everything. That way, they should, if they're doing a good job, write it down, make sure that they're prepared for it, and make sure that it's captured faithfully. And this is an important time for cultural literacy. It's important that the videographer know everything about the particular ceremonies and traditions and customs that you have. Some things are fun, some things are absolutely serious, some things need to be filmed, other things should not be filmed. And these are all discussions that you should have with the videographer ahead of time, and if they're not taking notes, that's a big red flag. In the event space, I saw a lot of clients who were disappointed. Often not with me, thankfully. I took care of my mistakes. But the thing that usually upset people most was when a photographer or videographer just didn't make a deadline. You said you'll get your photos back in a month, and 3 months later, they don't have their photos and they don't have an answer for it. Of course, there are some times when deadlines do get missed and things happen in life, but the videographer and the photographer should always be communicating with you and letting you know if a deadline will get missed. And you should have a very clear idea as to when you can expect your content and what will happen if that deadline isn't met, even if it's just a very good heartfelt apology. Make sure that you know when you're going to get your stuff. The last thing you need to ask a videographer is how disruptive they would be. I worked on a quinceañera a long time ago where the videographer was running around on the dance floor wearing a high visibility vest with his logo emblazoned all over the chest and on the back. And he stood out like a giant sore thumb. Now, it was just the open dance floor. He wasn't offending anyone, but it was very tactless. And when you're in a temple, when you are having important ceremonies, moments of silence, or many other important cultural moments, a disruptive videographer isn't just a sore thumb. It can be downright offensive. So make sure that you understand how disruptive they would be, how much noise they're going to make, how much they're going to move, how they communicate. You might very well be working with a videographer who does very well, but they always talk to their crew this loud. That's going to be awfully bad in church. So have this conversation about how disruptive they can be, where the limit is, and what you expect and what you will not tolerate. And again, if they're not taking notes, that's a big red flag. Thank you for watching. I'm Michael Bruner of Brogan Video. Remember, at its best, video is a tool for genuine communication between people, as it should be. So, get out there and share your heart.